What's up, MMO Attack fans? This is Zach here, bringing you a first impressions video for Ragnarok Online II, Legend of the Second, a brand new MMORPG published and developed by Gravity Interactive, just recently released in North America. This is the North American version we are taking a look at. It's a part of Gravity's War Portal. This is essentially the character selection screen. We're going to create a new character and we're going to see all the characters classes we have available. There are 5 classes available. There's the Swordsman, the Magician, the Archer, the Thief, and the Acolyte. And each class has a subclass, has one of two subclasses which they can transform to once they reach level 25. For example, the Swordsman can be the Warrior or the Knight. The Magician can change to the Wizard or Sorcerer. The Archer can be a Ranger or Beastmaster, the Thief can be the Assassin or Rogue, and the Acolyte can be the Priest or the Monk. We're going to go ahead and pick the Swordsman, and over here where it asks about your job is essentially your trade for crafting and things of that nature. You can be a chef, it says it produces special foods, of course. Alchemist produces various medicines. Blacksmith produces weapons and heavy armor. And Artisan produces light armor and other accessories. And this game has a sort of a dual progression system in that you level up your job and your class separately. In terms of character customization, it's all fairly standard fare, but it is somewhat in-depth. There's a lot of different hairstyles and hair colors and facial options in which you can choose from. I think we've got our character looking pretty good there. We can change his voice if we want to, but we're going to leave it just like it is. We are going to input just a random name. Let's see. We got to click name check before we can go ahead and create a character. So now we're going to go ahead and create character. It's going to take us back to the character selection screen. We're going to click on our character here and we're going to start game. Now, Ragnarok Online II is the sequel to one of the most popular and well thought of anime-inspired MMORPGs on the market. And as tradition with a lot of these sequels to popular MMORPGs, the sequel really doesn't have a lot in common with the original game. Ragnarok Online 2 is far more like a standard quest-based MMORPG, something similar to World of Warcraft, than it is Ragnarok Online. So we got that quest, and essentially we have to get a quest to talk to another guy who's right down here. As you can see, this game just launched yesterday. There's a ton of players hanging around, and we have to go here, I think, right here. Yeah, right here. Talk to him. Accept. Well, no, actually we have to go to this guy here. There's essentially 2 types of quests in this game. There's your story quest, which you'll see highlighted in green over there on your quest tracker on the middle right portion of the screen, and then everything highlighted in purple is for all intents and purposes like a side quest. So let's see. We've got to kill baby porlings, and so combat is again fairly standard stuff. You have your basic attack. You start out with about 3 or so abilities. We have a head crush, attacks the enemy and inflicts 13% damage. Bash, spin 360 degrees, bash the enemy with your sword and inflicts 17% damage. And then we have a provoke ability, which is sort of like a taunt. And you'll have to excuse me. I think I told you wrong earlier. The quests, you can see a little icon that'll have like an S and then an M. The S means your story missions, and the M are just side missions. So we've got that done, and let's see. Anything to loot? No. We're essentially just going to be killing these baby porlings. I really like the art style in this game. It's, as I said before, it's definitely anime inspired, but it's not quite as cutesy as games like Eden Eternal or Grand Fantasia, both published by Area Games. It's a little bit more serious. And it follows that same Ragnarok Online art style that you saw even from a lot of the animations in the first game, but I think with the enhanced graphics, it really brings this game to life. So let's see. Anything to loot there? No. Get wet crib sheet. Well, what? Why? Nope, they don't have what I'm looking for. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and attack these guys. And he's about gone. Maybe this guy will have it. But yeah, in terms of anime-inspired MMORPGs, this looks probably close to the best that I have seen. My only problem with this game is while the graphics are artistically nice, technically speaking, they need a little bit of work. The character models are done very, very well. They're very detailed and have lots of nice artwork. The environments, not so much. The environments look kind of muddy and plain. And even though they look muddy and plain, and the character models themselves, while they look nice, aren't exactly technically impressive, you would think that that's good evidence for the fact that this game would run very, very smoothly. Well, the reality of the matter is, I don't know if it's just my PC, but this game kind of chugs a little bit. It seems like it has some performance issues. I mean, I know there's a lot of players around, but last night I was messing around in the Southeast Asian version of this game where there was not quite as many players around in the newbie area, and I essentially had the exact same problem. So we're going to go ahead and complete these quests. But I mean, yeah, you can see how choppy the frame rate is. I'm just kind of running and jumping around here. So we have to go talk to this guy. And essentially this is how the game sort of plays out. You'll go from NPC to NPC for your story missions. And then along the way you'll see other NPCs which have side quests. And the NPCs that you find are usually very conveniently located, very, very close to the enemies in which you have to kill. In fact, sometimes they're standing directly in the middle of them. So it's a little formulaic in a sense of how it plays out. There's not a lot of... I think a lot of people that are fans of Ragnarok Online and expect Ragnarok Online 2 to be the exact same game but just more and better are going to be disappointed, because this game is much more standard. It plays much more like a standard MMORPG and doesn't really do a lot to stand out from the crowd. And I think that would have been fine years ago, maybe 2 or 3 years ago. But now you see so much innovation, especially in the free-to-play market with games like Vindictus, C9. And then you also have competition from former pay-to-play games like Lord of the Rings Online, competition from games like Ion, Lineage 2, Age of Conan, EverQuest 2. High quality pay-to-play games that now have free-to-play options. It kind of, I think, hurts this game a little bit, because this game, I've spent several hours with this game and I like the game, but it just doesn't seem to do a lot that stands out in my opinion, other than having a fairly unique art style and the fact that the character models are pleasing and the animations are decent. But aside from that, it just doesn't really do a lot different. But I think if you're in the market for a type of game like this, if you like standard MMORPGs, if it doesn't bother you, I guess, that the game really doesn't have that much in common with Ragnarok Online 1, I think you might want to give this game a look, because it's a quality game. I mean, I haven't noticed a whole lot of bugs or glitches or just terrible game mechanics. It's definitely high quality, even though it's just a little bit generic. And God, I hate these quests where you have to go talk to an NPC and the quest tells you to talk to the exact same NPC, and then you run off and then you're just like, oh, wait a minute, I have to talk to the NPC. But yeah, if you press the M key, you can open up your map and you can see what I'm talking about. Essentially, all these little yellow icons with the red exclamation point, that simply means that you have to talk to these guys to get a quest. So we're going to talk to this guy, we're going to get his quest, get the sleeve button of the suspicious. I wonder if that's an English translation error, but essentially we have to go attack these guys called the suspicious persons. And these guys don't take very long to kill at all. Sometimes you will fight enemies that do, and that's kind of the MO for this game. There's 3 types of quests that I've ran across. There's your standard collect quests, your standard kill quests, and then there's quests which will have you kill a single NPC, which is like a boss character. And when you get a few levels, the boss characters actually become quite strong, and that they have a lot more hit points than you, and they do take a long time to go down, and you have to burn quite a few hit points. Or not hit points, but health potions. And it sort of gets... I don't know, it sort of gets old after a while to have to keep attacking those guys, because it seemed to me like the higher level I got, then the more I was actually having to fight those guys. So let's see, will this guy have what we're looking for? Nope. Wow, the first time I went through this, I didn't have this much trouble at all trying to find who I was trying to kill. Or not who I was trying to kill, but just getting the drop. So let's see. There we go, we've got the drop now, so we're going to go ahead and talk to the NPC. We're going to go back to him. So you can press spacebar to jump, and just gonna hop my way over here and talk to him, complete the quest, accept another quest, talk to Professor so-and-so. Now, this game is similar to Ion in that if you don't know where to go for your quests, you can just left click on the quest description and it'll open your map. And in my case, the little icon is flashing, but if you have to kill some mobs, you'll see lots of red dots on the screen. So we're going to talk to this chick here. We're going to complete the quest, and we're going to click accept. But before we do that, I want to talk some more about just general character progression. First of all, you can press the C key to bring up the character info sheet. It's going to tell you all of your information about your class, your job that you have, your guild, where you're bound at. And it also shows you your equipment and your trade skill costumes if you have one. And this right here, this tab here that says card, this is something that they brought over from the original Ragnarok Online, and that you will loot these cards or perhaps buy them from other players, and they essentially have little stat bonuses. And if you combine 5 cards, then you get an even bigger stat bonus. If we press the T key, we can open up our skills window, and this is essentially how we get new abilities. We have 2 skill points already, so we can get this new skill here, or I think we can put points into an existing skill. But the battle order skill, which is what we don't have, increases the strength of all party members and attack speed, and all party and attack squad members by 2% for 30 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and put a couple of points in that and click confirm. And we're going to have to drag the skill to our hotbar, and then we can just press the 5 key to use our ability. And there are also some stat points which we can allocate. So we navigate over here to these little tiny icons, and there should be an icon that says level up, and it'll say you have available stat points. Just left click that, and then you can distribute your stats. You can distribute strength, agility, intelligence, wisdom, and vitality. So judging by our character class, I think we want to go ahead and raise vitality. Yeah, let's just go ahead and raise vitality all the way for now. And we're going to go ahead and close out all that. And now we're set. So let's talk to this NPC. Oh, that's not the NPC. There he is. Alright, let's talk to him. We're going to use some potions and monster lesson, blah, blah, blah. Another quest. And let's not forget to go over here because first time I ran through this, I kind of forgot this quest. But luckily, you do start out ahead of the leveling curve. I have got to say, I definitely appreciate that. I mean, in a lot of games, I sort of get very annoyed, I guess you could say, at the fact that it seems like no matter how many quests I do, I'm always behind where I ought to be in the leveling curve. In this game, I mean, I'm level 3, and sometimes I'll be 2 and 3 levels above what I actually need to kill. And right now, I mean, I'm level 3 and I'm only fighting level 2s, but as I get higher up in levels, you'll see what I'm talking about. And let's see, we get 2 of those. And we need a couple more. And as you saw on the screen, it talked about a mount window. You can press the I key to open up your mounts. You can, of course, purchase mounts from NPCs and ride them around, just like you can in any other standard MMORPG. But let's take a look at that. Yeah, I guess it says all, so I guess, what does this mean? All the mounts that you can have in the game? You can take a look at how they look. Oh, yeah. I definitely want the Christmas polar bear. I want to ride that around all summer long. Let's see, the tiger. That looks kind of cool. Black tiger, white tiger. Pecco. Looks like a chocobo, kind of. Let's see. Report to so-and-so. So we're going to talk to him to complete the quest. Complete. And we're going to run over to this other NPC to complete our other quest to progress through the main story. There he is. Let's see. Monster lesson. Oh, we get a new piece of gear. High Academy student mail. So we're going to go ahead and select it. Accept the new quest. Press the B key to open up your basic inventory. And just right click the item to equip it. Has basically this exact same graphic except for it just changed the color a little bit. Instead of green, it's now purple. So we're going to talk to Sophie here, and we're going to get a brand new sword, the High Academy sword. We're going to equip it, right click to equip. We're going to complete the quest, and we got to talk to the poorlings, or not talk to the poorlings, we got to attack the poorlings. So let's go ahead and attack them. We got to kill 4 of those guys. And what did... Wow, he totally just stole my kill, that guy. Asshole. So let's go ahead and fight these guys. And... there we go. So we've got one. There's just a ton of people around. It's actually pretty hard to get kills. There's so many people just kind of flying around here. Let's see. Got that guy. He's down. Can loot and sell some of this junk to the vendor later. And I've got another bag I can go ahead and equip in my inventory. Let's see, 3 out of 4. So we need 1 more, and there we go. Alright, battle's over, and we're going to go talk to the NPC to see what we've got to do next. Talk to Sophie, and complete the quest. Accept. Get rid of poorlings. Oh, poor poorlings. So, not just the regular poorlings, but the poor poorlings. And poorlings are also, if you're familiar with the original Ragnarok Online, poorlings are also something that I think you guys should remember. One of the first enemies you actually fight in that game, and it's the same things here. One of the first enemies there again that you actually will ever fight. So we've got 2 of those, 2 down, and we need a couple more, and there's just so many people. Let's see. There we go, and awesome. So we just need 1 more. Ah, crap. I didn't mean to attack that NPC. This is the one I meant to attack. And we are done. Okay, there we go. And we're going to run back to the NPC. And while I run back to the NPC, I'm about to run out of time here, but I've just got to say that if you like the original Ragnarok Online, approach this game with an open mind. It's not the same game. It's definitely standard fare for an MMORPG, but in its own right, it's definitely a solid game. And I do recommend you guys check it out. I think you guys could do far worse when picking out a free-to-play MMORPG. If you guys want to learn more about Ragnarok Online, head on over to the official website. If you guys want to learn more about MMO Attack, head on over to MMOattack.com for more MMO gaming news, reviews, opinions, giveaways, and other awesomeness.